Yes, sir. Welcome into another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, no voice, no guys. Me, really rough, villain rough, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Well, it was a wash of a day. Oh, it's a whale of a wash, and the prices, oh my gosh. Shout out to the reference. The real ones know the reference. Yeah, very wash of a day here. 2-2 in the 4 plays that I had. Kicking things off early was Wake Forest, who was hanging around with North Carolina in that game, and they were really, really competitive. That was a 2-point game at halftime, but as it got closer and closer to the game, there are teams that are willing to fight until the last buzzer, and then there are teams who are like Joss and Vendettas of the challenge, and they think that it's over, and they just kind of give up, not knowing a lot of us are on the spread, and so if they continue to fight, then we would still have a chance. Wake Forest had a chance to cover that game towards the end, and just kind of ended up like Josh gave up. So, yeah, that's really what happened there. Kind of unfortunate. UNC gets up for that game, and it is what it is. And you know what? It would have looked a lot better for that 80-1 with Wake if they got past UNC here. Because look, this is why you don't lay -3 something chalk in the ACC. Just freak accident of Cooper Flag getting injured, and now Duke really, really looking questionable there. So we'll see how that goes forward. But we missed the Wake play there. Lakers Bucks goes over. The Lakers do their part in not being able to score. It was a lot of the Luka Doncic show, but the Milwaukee Bucks just put it on them. 120 plus points, dragged that total over. Cam Thomas flew over 25.5 points and assists, and Jared Vanderbilt went under 7.5 points. That was like 4 points there. NBA really, really heated up after a down week last week. And after riding the high of college basketball last week, I am struggling in the early part of conference tournaments this week. But hopefully we turn it around. I have one NBA play for you and two college basketball plays here. Probably shouldn't have done that, seeing how my week is going. But this is the chance that we get to turn this week around. So we'll do that. And I'll go ahead and give out the first NBA play here. It's gonna come down to our favorites. The team that we love to hate. The Phoenix Suns are playing the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings are on the second leg of a back-to-back. Catching 2.5 here on the road, going to play the Suns. I cannot take the Suns no matter what. I actually cannot. They're a horrible basketball team in terms of closing games, and there's no part of them that I want in that aspect of this. But you look at since the All-Star break, they're scoring 120 points per game, ninth best in the NBA. The Sacramento Kings have been down recently in the past couple of games, giving up 130 in back-to-back games to the Knicks and the Warriors. Defensively, they're still trying to figure it out. You got Sabonis, who is out still with that hamstring injury. He's been out for a while. So their offense has kind of been up and down, sporadic. The defense really hasn't been there. They need his rebounding on the glass desperately. And with all of that being said, I think that the Suns are going to be able to dominate the offensive rebounds here, get extra possessions, be able to score the basketball. You look at what the Sacramento Kings are doing on the second leg of a back-to-back this season. They are 10-2 to their opponent's team total over. 10-2. 10-2 to their opponent's team total over in their 12 back-to-backs this season. They've been allowing their opponents to score in that second game. I like the Phoenix Suns to at least do that much. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a high-scoring affair and the Suns find a way to lose this game and Sacramento still is able to go out and get a win and just put up a high total. But at the very least, I can trust Phoenix to score. So give me the Phoenix Suns team total over 118.5. That'll be the NBA play that I have for today. And before we get to college basketball, got to talk to you about Microsoft. Microsoft empowers visionaries with AI solutions, simplified cloud data and data management, and trustworthy, responsible AI. Microsoft challengers. make sure you tap into the Microsoft Challengers mindset, because emphasizing the importance of pushing boundaries and striving for excellence and turning challenges into opportunities, Microsoft is helping decision makers make informed decisions, sparking new ideas, and driving impactful change. Microsoft provides the tools and expertise needed to tackle the biggest challenges with confidence. Whatever challenge you're facing, Microsoft empowers you with the expertise to say, bring it on. Visit Microsoft.com/challengers to learn more. All right. Couple of college basketball plays. I'm giving you a couple of money line plays here. Short number. I'd rather just go ahead and take the money line because over there at Bet365, shout out to our partners over there at Bet365. You can use that promo code, use that link, bettingpros.com/bet365, bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. And so with Bet365, if you get college basketball team, I believe it is up 20 points in college basketball too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's both 20 in the NBA and college basketball. Let me go double check that. But you get an early payout. So you have an early payout option where if your team goes up big, you don't have to worry about some crazy second half collapse or anything like that. You'll be able to get paid out of your bet and don't even have to worry about sweating the game. It can be all for fun there, or you can go hop in the game and lock in some different actions. So you can do all of that over there with Bet365. Make sure you log in with Bet365, bettingpros.com/bet365. And so with that, let's go over to some A10 basketball. Right here, Dayton is playing St. Joe's. St. Joe's just coming off of beating St. Mary's in the first round of the A10 tournament. I mean, not St. Mary's. Did I say St. Mary's? I meant LaSalle. I just said St. Mary's. I don't know why I said St. Mary's. LaSalle. Nonetheless, they let LaSalle come back in that game. They were up big in that game and just kind of played around with their food and let LaSalle come back. LaSalle ended up covering the spread as well. St. Joe's been slightly fraudulent in my eyes here. I think that when I watch A10 hoops, because I do like VCU basketball, so I am rather tapped into the A10. There's a clear divide in the A10 for me. There's the top 3 teams. I'm sorry. There's the top 3 teams in VCU, George Washington, and Dayton. Everybody else, I'm sorry, did I say George Washington? I meant George Mason. You got George Mason, you got Dayton, and you got VCU. Everybody else, very, very, very much questionable on. Very, very questionable on everybody else outside of those top teams when it comes to A10 basketball. You have Dayton, who is really, really good offensively, and they're able to put up the points. And the defense comes in for them at times. Other times it has failed them, but the offense has been able to carry them over. Whereas, uh, ooh, yeah. Oh wow, wait, that just went black. My screen just went black for a second. That was weird. That was weird. I have no idea why my screen went black for a second. Nonetheless, back to this. Yeah, Dayton, they're riding high right now. Going back to the handicap. Dayton's riding high right now. They just beat VCU at VCU. That's a really, really tough loss. I mean, really, really tough loss for my VCU Rams there. But Dayton just played great basketball and caught VCU slipping at home at the end of the season. So I think Dayton is riding hot right now. St. Joe's got revenge on LaSalle, but I just was not. Just watching the game and the little bit of that game that I did catch, I just did not see the heart in St. Joe's in that second half, and they just kind of let things. You got to play a complete game to be able to outmuscle and outscore this Dayton team that can put up points in a hurry. I think Dayton's going to be locked in. I think Dayton's moving on to the next round. So I'm taking Dayton on the money line here. It's minus 120. I think they're going to get it done against St. Joe's. So that is one play in the A10. I do like George Mason against George Washington as well. I'll admit that. I didn't get to the window on that one just because that's a little bit more of of a rivalry game, George Mason, George Washington, but I am very much intrigued in that game because I do think Mason can run away from George Washington in that one. But there's a chance George Washington gets up in that game. I'm not going to bet it. Other play for college basketball that I'll give out along with Dayton is Clemson. I'm taking Clemson on the money line, minus 115 here. And I already picked Clemson earlier when we talked about it yesterday. I said, hey, who do I think on the bottom side of that bracket of the ACC can pull out of it? And I really did think it's Clemson. Clemson is the more complete all-around basketball team here for me. And honestly, it's a clear cut. Clemson is the second best team in the ACC behind Duke with Cooper Flag at full strength. Clemson is clear cut the second best team. I think it's a clear cut tier of when Cooper Flag is playing. Is Duke at the top? They're a tier of their own. Clemson is right behind them. They have the ability to beat Duke, but they pretty much handle almost everybody else. And then you got Louisville, and then you got base and everybody else in that tier around there. I'm just not really impressed with the ACC and hoops this year. And so Clemson defensively, I know that they're going to be a tear. Louisville's going to struggle to find ways to score the basketball. And it's just Clemson getting consistent offense, especially from behind the arc. They're shooting 37% from three this season. That's really good. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the conference. And I think that that hot three-point shooting is going to be really big for them. And it's going to be needed, especially after they kind of went to war. Both of these two teams went to war. Louisville with Stanford and Clemson with SMU here in those first couple of games. So I think Clemson, I like them better. I picked them beforehand. I'm not going to change now. Continuous stream. We're getting them at a short number here, about minus 115 odds on the money line. So we are able for our early payout over there on Bet365. I'm taking Clemson as well for my second play in college basketball. So with that, Suns team total over 118.5. Dayton on the money line, Clemson on the money line. That's what I'm doing for a Friday in hoops. Okay, at really wrong button. There we go. At really real underscore on X on BettingPros at BettingPros on X and TikTok. At BettingPros NFL on Instagram and YouTube.com/BettingPros, where you can subscribe, drop a comment on any Fast Break Bets video. You have a chance to win the Sean Kemp signed jersey. Make sure you do that and give it away on the 18th. Courtesy of our friends at Pristine Auction. Make sure you go get in for that jersey. All right, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to like this. We are out of here.